Hi, I'm Harish from MySmartPrice and today we'll be taking a look at the HTC One M8. After initially launching the One M7 last year, HTC is back at it with the all-new M8. The M8 features more aluminum, has a slightly larger screen and comes with better hardware overall. Let's go ahead and get an overview of the device. As you can see, the One M8 features a design that is reminiscent of the One M7 last year, although it does feel slightly heavier, and that is thanks to the added aluminum. The top of the HTC One M8 features an IR blaster through which you'll be able to control your TVs, DVD players, Blu-ray players and home theater systems. We have to say that the HTC One M8 is one of the most beautiful devices we've seen thus far. The unibody construction as well as the abundant usage of aluminum gives the device a premium feel that no other handset in the market can match right now. Now, HTC has been criticized in the past for using slightly watered-down hardware in its models, but this isn't the case with the One M8. The One M8 features the best hardware that is currently available in the market. The One M8 features a quad-core Snapdragon 801 CPU along with 2GB of RAM. This means that when you're using the device on a day-to-day basis, you would not encounter any kind of a lag or stutter whatsoever. This is also the most powerful device HTC has made to date, and it shows when you're using the device daily. Although other high-end devices feature the same hardware as the One M8, the device feels surprisingly fast when compared to other flagship devices currently available, like the Galaxy S5. Now we can go ahead and talk about benchmarks and compare the One M8 benchmarks to that of the Galaxy S5. But what we'd like to focus on is the fact that the One M8 feels better when you're using it on a day-to-day basis. The device feels comfortable to hold, has a premium look to it, and comes with a user interface that offers the features you want, not the features you don't need. Let us show what we mean by this. The One M8 comes with boom sound stereo speakers that offer the richest sound that we've seen on a smartphone thus far. And also, the speakers are at the front of the device. When you think about it, frontal speakers make a lot of sense considering that the sound does not get muffled when you place the device on a table. That is one area in which HTC has put in a lot of effort, and it clearly shows, as the sound quality as well as the richness of the sound is better on the One M8 than any other device we've seen. Let's take a look at the screen on the One M8. Last year's One M7 had one of the best screens we've seen on a mobile device, so it's great to see that HTC has not changed too much as far as the screen segment is concerned. The screen is slightly larger at 5.1 inches, but that does not make the device uncomfortable to hold, as the form factor is still relatively unchanged from last year's One M7. In terms of the quality, the screen on the One M8 offers great black levels as well as contrast and viewing angles. So far, we haven't found any issues as far as the screen is concerned, and we still feel that this is one of the best screens that you can get on a mobile device currently. Another factor that HTC got right on the One M8 is the user interface. HTC is one of the few manufacturers left on Android who focus heavily on design, and this is clearly evident when you take a look at the Sense6 user interface on the One M8. The user interface is clean, everything is clearly labeled out, and it looks modern, easy to use, and is intuitive. There isn't too much clutter throughout the interface, and HTC doesn't go overboard as far as the settings is concerned. You get what you want to use, and that's about it. One of the best features as far as the user interface is concerned is BlinkFeed. BlinkFeed originally debuted on last year's One M7, but this time around HTC has included a new version of it in the M8. The new version of BlinkFeed allows you to switch off new streams, and you can altogether disable the feed aggregator, which was not available in the previous version. Although previous versions of BlinkFeed allowed you to switch off the no stream, the feature itself was always present on the leftmost home screen. With the new version, however, this is not the case, and you can thankfully remove it should you not require the BlinkFeed client. Another feature that is exciting on the One M8, one that is unique to this device, is the presence of dual cameras at the back. The first camera is a standard 4-megapixel variant that we've seen on the One M7 last year, although this version does not feature optical image stabilization. What HTC has done to counter that deficit is add another camera which it calls the depth sensor. The depth sensor essentially provides a background defocus effect at the hardware level. Google has been providing this effect at the software level on its latest camera client for Android devices, but HTC has taken it a step further by including a hardware level defocus effect through the second camera on the One M8. While it is an interesting choice made by HTC to offer two cameras, the image quality in itself does not come close to what other devices are offering in this segment. For instance, Samsung's 16-megapixel camera on the Galaxy S5 offers much better image quality as well as video quality, which the HTC One M8 does not match. Also, there is no ability to shoot native 4K videos on the One M8, but we feel that this feature is still in its nascent stages and there isn't infrastructure available to make full utility of the 4K video format as such. One of the main drawbacks on the One M7 was its battery life, which wasn't that great to begin with. HTC has since rectified the issue on the One M8, which offers great battery life. We easily managed to get a day to a day and a half of usage on a single charge. This translates to around 4.5 hours of screen on time, which involved browsing the web, watching videos, and playing games. If you're not a heavy user, the device will last you 2 days on a single charge without any issues. So let's conclude. With the HTC One M8, you get everything that you're looking for in a high-end flagship device. The device comes with an aluminum body, has a premium look to it, and comes with a user interface that is actually easy to navigate. However, all this comes at a cost, as HTC has priced the One M8 at $49,000, making this the costliest flagship mobile available currently. As such, we wonder if anybody would decide to go with HTC's variant when the Galaxy S5 and the Xperia Z2 are available for much less. So what we have then with the HTC M8 is a device that offers a lot but fails when it comes to one thing, the pricing. If HTC was more aggressive when it came to the pricing, the One M8 would have easily been the best-selling device of 2014. However, that doesn't look like it will be the case.